Welcome. Hello, friends. I'm so glad you're here with me today. So for the month of November, I've decided that I'm going to bring you four different projects using Heartfelt Creations Digital Farmers Market Collection. So I'm very excited about these. This first one is going to be a little flip fold album that's very quick and easy to put together, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So let's go ahead and switch our camera and take a look at it. All right, so here is my project. And I'll go ahead and flip through it for you. You just open it, and each of the little farmer's tags flips up. So then you just keep on flipping, and they open. All of these little wood strips over here are tuck spots where you could tuck a tag in each one, or you could put a picture, whichever. Then it keeps flipping and keeps going, and continues in the same fashion until you get back to the beginning. So the way this actually works is it is an accordion. I'll show it to you from the top there. You can see. So this flips open like that. And here are the flip ups. Or you can turn it all the way over, and the same thing on the back side. Whoops. There you go. So you can see how that very easily comes together, and it just makes a little album. So I am starting with some card bases, and these card bases are a little bit smaller than A2, but you can just take an 8.5 and 11 piece of cardstock and cut it in half so that you have two pieces that are 8 by 5.5, and then go ahead and score them in the center, and you will have the same sizes. So this big piece is going to measure let me measure it for you because I don't want to tell you wrong. It is 5.5 by 8, and then you just score at the 4 mark and fold it over. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to glue these back to back to make our accordion. And I am starting with I'm just using 4 of the cards to make my album, and then I'm using 2 separate cards to cut apart and make my little flaps that flip up. So since this one is opening this direction, I want this one to open the opposite, so I want to glue openings to folds and vice versa. So this was the fold of this card to the opening of this card. That's what I meant by that. Or if the other side, it's the opening of this one with the fold of the one underneath. So there we go. There we go, our first trifold. Now I have gone ahead and done this once before, and now I'm just going to go ahead and glue those together, but we want to make sure we get it right. So that nope, that's not right. One of them needs flipped up. There we go. Okay, so like this, we will have our zigzag all the way. So here is my opening, and I'm going to put it to this fold on this side. Sometimes looking at it from the top can help you kind of see which way you need it to go so you don't accidentally get those glued in the wrong direction. All right. All right, so there we have, oops, and look at that. I got that pretty crooked. Let's do that again before it shifted on me. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's our accordion. Am I getting out of the camera a lot? There we go. Okay, so now that we have our base done, let's go ahead and work on our pieces that are going to flip up. For that, I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, put my glasses on so I see what I'm doing. And basically, I'm going to cut these in half, but I'm also going to trim off just 1/8 of an inch just to make sure that I have room and it doesn't give me any problems when I'm folding my booklet. So I am cutting off just a little bit on each one. So basically that little bit on each side is what I took off to make these just a little bit narrower than my pages. That way the flaps don't get in the way of the creases. In fact, I think I'm going to take off just a hair more on each one. And that's something you just kind of have to eyeball to make sure that you're giving your creases enough room to fold. You don't want your flaps to get in the way of your album folding up. I'll measure those for you too when I get them done, just so we can know for sure. All right, so when those are done, they measure to about 3 7/8. And this measures to 4, so that way you're giving yourself just a little bit of room to make sure it won't interfere with your album folding up. So now each of your little flaps that you just made, we're going to go ahead and score them at the half-inch mark. So just right here at the half on the top of each one, I'm going to go ahead and make a score mark. All right, does everyone have big plans for Thanksgiving, or are you kind of taking it easy this year? Say, we're kind of taking it easy this year, but I am going to have all of my kids and their spouses and families coming to my house. So we are going to cook, but other than that, we're just going to hang out and play games and visit with one another. We're not going to put too much demands on ourselves. After the wedding, we're all kind of tired, so we're going to have a relaxed Thanksgiving. All right, so now I have my 4 flip pages ready to go. So let's go ahead and in our album, we're going to open one page and we're going to add a flip right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue right here. And I'm going to turn this sideways to do it because it's easier for me to see the top. But there we go. And I'm just going to attach that right about right there. And I'm just checking to make sure that I've got it straight all the way down before I press down. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to turn the page again. Or I'll just open it up so you can see. We're going to skip a page and then add another one. And again, I'm going to turn it just so that I can see it easier while I'm sitting here. All right, there we go. And we'll go ahead, and this will be the last page. So now I'm going to turn it over. And this one and this one are the ones that have the flaps on the back side. So this time I'm going to put them on this one and this one, because it would get those pages a little bit heavy if we put them back to back on the same ones. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm alternating where my flaps are. So I'm going to put one on this back page. Did I get that? Yeah. Okay. And now we're going to put one on this page. So I'm sure everyone's heard the news that Heartfelt is closing completely. So if you don't have the Farmers Market collection, you can still get that. If you're an insider member, I believe, I can't remember if it's 40 or 70, but the discounts are pretty high. So you can pick up that collection, and it is a beautiful, beautiful digital collection. So we're going to go ahead and place all of our flaps down, and there we go. We have the basis of our little album ready to go. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to share my screen with you so I can show you the pieces that I have gone ahead and printed out from the Farmers Market elements. Okay, let's hope this works. Oh, yay, there's my screen. Okay, so you can see here I've gone ahead and I have loaded 4 of the little farmer's market, I don't know, what would you call labels, kind of? They almost look like labels from the front of little seed packets or something. And on each one, if you look right down here, the first measurement is as close to 3.5 as I could get it. So this one's 3.5. This one is 3.49, but it would either go 5.2 or 4.9. I could not get it at 3.5. So, and then this one is 3.5. So I didn't really pay attention to this up and down measurement, although they're all pretty close to 4.88, 4.89. They're all pretty close. But the way I got them to be the same is to make that first number 3.5. Then I pulled in this little piece of wood, and I basically made the length of this, I wanted it at 5.25. So it ended up being a tad longer, but not much, and that makes it about 1.3435 width. And once I got one of them, then I just went up here to this little icon, you see on the right, where it says 2+, and I just kept hitting that, and that duplicated it. And you need 6 of them total for this project. So the other piece, let's see here, I believe there's one more piece up here somewhere. Nope, okay. The other piece that I made, you're gonna go right, oh, here it is, right here. There it is. Okay, so this was the other piece that I pulled in, and that's for my cover. And that too, I brought it to be, it says 3.61, but basically I made the height as close to 5 inches as I could, because I knew my cover was going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. So basically, to have a outline that I wanted, I made it approximately 5 inches tall. And so usually if you get one side to the measurement that you want, it's going to automatically bring the whole thing into the size that you need. So that's how I did it. Okay, and then once from here, I just went ahead and printed it and cut it out with my Cricut, and that should do it. I think that's everything. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to switch back to my workspace, and we are ready to put our album together. So here are my pieces after I cut them out and printed them. Let's see, do I have all these? Okay, I only have 4. Here's the other one. I forgot to pull it off the page. I think I said 6. I might have only ended up using 5. I ended up using the 6th one on a card that we're going to make on another day. I did make 6 of them, and the way I did it, I just put all of them on one sheet of paper, and 6 was how many fit on my piece of paper, so that's how many I printed. Alright, so now I have gone through my paper pads, and I just picked some pieces from all over that were in fall colors. So you're going to need 9 pieces that measure 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So you need 9 that measure that size. And like I said, just pick some that you like that have fall. A lot of my pieces are from the Country Bears playing the little guitars. This is the backside of some hydrangea, but I like the blues, kind of picking up the stripe in this page. And then this one is actually the middle section of one of the mosaic pieces of paper, but I kind of like the yellows. It was all yellow, but it had some greens and oranges stamped in there, and I thought that complemented well. Then this is a green piece. It looks like it's from the mosaics as well, and these are for our little flaps that flap up. So they're going to measure just a little differently. So let me show you, and you need 4 of those. So 9 of the bigger ones, and then for the smaller pieces, this measures 4 3/4 by 3 7/8. And that is because we trimmed those pieces down. All right. Well, now all we have to do is glue all of our pieces into our album. So I'm going to start with this piece, and you know me, I like to ink the edges of everything, so I'm going to use a little bit of walnut brown, and we're just going to ink the edges of all these as we put them down. And I need my glasses again. Okay. So I thought this could, if you didn't want to put pictures in, a fun idea if the ladies that are coming to your Thanksgiving, if you wanted to give them the recipes of each of the dishes that you make, you could go ahead and print out, like on a computer, just print out your recipes to the size of this little thing and add like a picture of the recipe and then put the recipe in with it. I thought that would be a fun idea. Now we're going to come back at the end and add some of these little decorative strips just to finish decorating, but we'll do that at the end. All right, so I kind of went through and my different tabs here, I matched them. So the blue ones I think I'm going to put with this purple. My pretty leaf one, let's see, I think I'll put that one with this one. And let's see here, I've got, I think these two I'll put with this, and then the yellow ones here I'll put with that, and then this will be the back side as well. So you don't have to do that, that's just how I kind of looked through them, thought about it. So all right, again, I'm just going to ink up those edges. It makes such a huge difference if you do this. It gives that edge that nice finished look. I'm just going to quickly glue those on each of the pages. And I'm going to go ahead and do all of my base pieces, and then we'll go back and add the wood strips. Now, if you wanted to do this with a different kind of collection, it would be fun. And maybe do a little album for like a teacher's gift or something. I thought that might be another fun idea for this size little album. I'm sure all of you out there who are so creative that you will come up with great ideas of how to use this little album. Now, we'll come back and do that in a moment. I'm just going to add all these base pieces in first. I hope everybody has had a chance to grab the digital versions of some of those collections that maybe you didn't have them in the stamps and dies, but you were able to get them in digital. I hope you were able to get the ones that you've wanted here before they close down. I know I went in, there were still a couple, this one and the Asters, and there was a couple others. They didn't do the candy cane lane in digital, and that was one set that I didn't have all the pieces to, so I was kind of sad that they decided to close before they got to that one. But I guess the memberships just didn't hold out enough to keep them going. So okay, now we're going to flip over to the other side. So I noticed a lot of people were hoping that the Under the Sea, the one with the fish and stuff, that one would come up on digital before they closed, and I just don't know. I don't, I don't know if they'll release any more digital ones or not. I think it's just going to wrap things up this month. I don't know if they have any coming out or not. They might. I don't know, though. Now flip this last page. That. These should be our last two. think now that we have that done, this should take us back to our beginning. Okay, so now we're going to start doing, we'll put one of the seed packet fronts on that, and then we'll open it up and add one on the inside. So for this, I believe I was going to do the apple first, and on these as well, I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges. Go ahead. I'm just centering that right on top. And let's see, I think I'll do a green one on this one. Oh, let's see, did I have, yeah, I either have blue or green. I don't have any patterned paper on this. Now, I'm also going to take one of the wood strips, but I'm only going to apply glue to 3 sides. Just like that. And then the open side, I'm going to leave over here, like the glue side is over on this side. And I'm just going to put that right here, making that so something can tuck in. All right, and while I have it here, we're going to go ahead and let's add just a little strip of pretties. We can do it pretty much anywhere we want to. Let's see, we can put it down here. Whoops, I've got it out of the picture. Down here, or before I put them across the top. I think I'll put it across the top just to keep them the same. So I'm going to do this the easy way. I'm just going to lay it down here, take my pencil, make a little mark there. Then with my scissors, I'm just going to pop that off straight. So, you know, I don't want to get the paper trimmer out to do such a simple little thing. I'm fine with just eyeballing it and getting it as close as I can. And usually it's pretty good. All right, there we go. Turn the page and just do that same thing all the way down. Whoops, I almost forgot to do the edge. I hate it when I forget to do an edge. I just really notice it when the product is finished. I'm like, those white edges just draw my eye. Especially on something that's very fall colored, because there's not a lot of white in here, so that white edge would really bother me. So, okay, go ahead. And then on this one, let's see, what are my choices up here? I've got this one, and I think I'm going to put the green on this side as well. Just, I don't want that dark blue, I don't think. I'll put the dark blue on the other side. That will kind of help the person looking at it know whether they're on the front or the back, too, by keeping that the same. Oh, I can tell you, the air conditioner has jumped up and it is so hot in my craft room right now. I'm about to pass out. So, there's that. All right. And like I said, all of these papers that I'm using are from original paper pads. And when Heartfelt was closing their doors there, they sold packets that was just various paper, and that's where I pulled most of these from. I didn't actually get into actual packets of paper. I just pulled them from those, I think they were like $15, and you just got like a packet of like 50 assorted papers. That's where I pulled these from. All right. Okay, so that one, now we're just going to work our way on this other side. Let's see, what's that? Okay, I think I want this one to be on the blue. I'll just add this one right here. Page. And I've got, oops, I forgot to put the inside page on that other one. I forgot to put this piece on there. We'll go back and do that before I forget. There we go. I do like my paper choices a little better on the other album, but that is because, you know, I just don't like to waste my paper now. So I used from the back sides and the other sides for this second one of the original pieces that I used. So hopefully that makes sense. I just wanted to, I didn't want to waste my paper. I wanted to use it up. And look there. That's bothering me. Yeah. Okay, so for this one, let's put a little piece of the blue maybe. I also have a little piece of this one. I think I like the blue best. Just gonna lay that on there. Whoops. And I'm recording. My husband just popped his head in the door. So I should have told him to lower the air conditioner. All right, there we go. And now we're ready for this one. All right. And our very last little tuck spot. All right, and on this one, I do want to add just a little bit right here of this little border. And it looks like this one's got just a sliver of, I didn't cut it quite close enough on my paper trimmer, so I'm just going to trim that off. There we go. So there's certainly lots of different things that you could do to this little album to decorate it more. But like I said, I did want to be able to put a lot of pictures, maybe recipes, and I have photographs from last year's Thanksgiving that I was going to set out for people to look at this year at Thanksgiving. So that is what I'm going to use it for. Oh, and one more spot right here. I think I'm going to come back with one of these. Let's see, what have I got? Might like that dark blue one. Okay. Right down there to provide just a little base. Okay. Pop my... Uh-oh. Did I lose my... You guys, I can lose that little pen so fast. It's amazing. Yep, I've lost it again. Okay, we're not going to worry about that. Hopefully it's on the floor or in my lap. Okay, so here are my 2 little albums that I've made. And I think they're super cute. But like I was saying, there's several ways that you can go ahead and decorate these up more if you wanted to. There's all kinds of little images like this that you could, you know, put more decorative and put less places for pictures or other inserts. There's also, you can purchase the digital stamps and color these up yourself and add those in there too, which would make some really pretty elements. So I did kind of bring out a few of those that, you know, you could add a lot more if you wanted to. Now I decided I didn't want to, but you could certainly do that if you were so inclined. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera back. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this simple little album and that it kind of sparked your creativity to pull out some of those sets. You can use the farmer's market or any other to kind of put a little album like this together and see what fun ways you can come up with using this design. So, all right, I hope you have a wonderful day. I've got another video coming later in the week using the farmer's market to make a really pretty card. So I hope you'll join me. Do give the video a thumbs up, and if you'd like to subscribe, I'd love to have you. And I look forward to crafting with you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.